Cameron Peterson just has a couple of corners to navigate. It is so treacherous out there right now. What a race it's been. What a race they're going to look back on. A couple more corners to go and a 21-second lead. Cameron Peterson has a look around. He's shaking his head. He can't believe it. Here he comes, Cameron Peterson. He will take the checkered flag and the race win. How about that?
Driving into this place, it just puts a smile on my face, you know. I get all giddy, and even if I struggled at this racetrack, I think it would still be my favorite. It's so much fun to ride, and it's the perfect motorcycle track.
The white flag is out for Cameron Peterson. Can he grab his second Medallia Superbike victory of the season, get his third career victory?
Honestly, with the way Atlanta happened and starting off the season so rough, and then having Alabama so early in the season, it's been a little bit more stressful this weekend, you know, knowing that I kind of have to perform.
Here comes Cameron Peterson, race 2 winner for Medallia Superbike and his second win of the season.
Honestly, I have a smile on my face every single lap I do around this track. I think I just got to be willing to take that extra bit of a risk, you know, and pushing at the limit those first few laps is stuff can happen. So I just got to get used to that, I think, and yeah, trust in my ability to be able to do that one lap pace and not really let Jake get out there. I think that's the next step, is just to kind of grit my teeth and just go for it.
The 2023 season got off to a hot start with some of the best racing the Superbike class has seen in years. Cameron Beaubier announced his return loud and clear with a victory in the first race of the season.
With how fast it is and how good it was on the brakes, I knew I had a chance.
Working a lot of hours the last month or so, so it definitely was a good payoff.
Jake Gagne and Beaubier arrived at Barber tied at the top of the point standings after round 1.
It's been a while since we've had a race at the front all the way to the finish like that. And we're gonna see a lot of good racing this year. Wins are gonna be tough.
Josh Herron had a strong weekend, despite a disappointing finish in P4 for race 2 after leading on the final lap.
I was just so disappointed that I had it right there and then it just disappeared. But I'm looking forward to Barber and know that we got bike to win races now.
Matthew Skold showed some promise, finishing the weekend on the podium.
I'm just happy that we made pretty big strides from the first Friday practice to the end of the second race now. I think that's going to really help us for the rest of the season.
Cam Peterson missed the podium in race 1 and had a DNF in race 2 as his bike caught fire on lap 3.
I was able to stay in the battle for those first few laps. I was kind of getting excited because I knew I had some pace on old tires. But yeah, there was no warning.
Richie Escalante is showing improvement from last season, and his teammate Tony Elias is working to get back into racing shape.
Small steps in the right direction, so I'm super happy right now.
It was not good. It was a very tough weekend. Since lap 1 when I entered, I suffer and struggle.
PJ Jacobson fought it out with his new teammate for 6th, as the Superbike rookie Corey Alexander took 7th in race 2.
So we're all learning this together, and we all don't have a ton of Superbike experience, obviously. So I think a podium by the end of the year is probably like my dream goal.
Kind of left a bad taste in my mouth leaving Road Atlanta in that way, but I guess it was okay to get some points on the board with the 6th position that I got in race 2. So yeah, you just kind of got to leave it behind and move on to the next round, which I know we're coming to Barber, so I was excited about.
Teams arrive at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama for what should be another fantastic race weekend. With a tie at the top of the point standings after round 1, everyone else is looking to rise by the end of race 2 on Sunday.
10 more seconds. All right, go ahead.
Tony Elias is pushing hard to get back to the competitive speed he's used to.
I believe in me. It's a not easy situation, but it's what it is. So keep fighting, and I hopefully it'll be better. I always been very critical with the mechanical stuff because I felt in the past electronics are important. Electronics help solve or make the problems smaller, but when you have a mechanical problem from the geometries or suspension, you have to work in that area. No, to me, the problem is it's clear.
Tony's been off for a little bit and he's coming back to racing, and obviously in racing everybody's expectations are very high, and there's a lot of pressure for him to perform, there's a lot of pressure for the team to perform. Being off the bike for a little bit, it's taken him just a little bit of time to get back up to speed. Things have changed over the past couple years since he's been gone. We've had a tire diameter change and tire construction changes, and he's learning some new stuff. We've had some electronics changes that he's getting used to again. So what he was familiar with in the past, it doesn't exactly work these days. So we're exploring new territory, trying to get a new baseline setup for him and doing something new and trying to get him more comfortable on the bike to get him back up to the speed that he's capable of.
Okay, good.
Matthew Skoltz comes back into the pit shortly after the session starts.
It's one shift, yes. Okay, put it up. It's as hard as a rock. If I push it as hard as I can, it then changes. And when I shift up, it is so hard. And when I find
Swap that back.
As soon as the rear almost locks up.
Yeah, come sit down. It's all right. Sit down. Just a mechanical issue with the bike. So I think we lost probably 8 minutes at the beginning of the first practice, which is unfortunate. We don't want to be sitting. We want to be spinning wheels and learning. But as it happened, the track at that time was so hard on the tyres that we didn't really miss out on too much, honestly.
I just think it was a miscommunication with the way something was supposed to be set up on the motorcycle, a very basic part. It was frustrating for us all to see Matthew have to sit for the first 10 minutes. Man, the clock's winding down. Are we going to go pretty soon or what?
Where are they? For f***'s sake! Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go any faster with that tire. Just hang out for a minute, put the other tire in it. I mean, all right.
I'll just do my best, obviously. I think if I just continue to do my thing, and I feel like I'm still learning and progressing in my riding. I know I'm capable of doing anything the other guys are doing, and I'm still kind of searching for that little extra, I feel like, but every year I've been picking it up a little more. I'm trying to get up there with the fast guys, and if I can, and maybe the other BMWs or something, it'd be nice.
The teams are still working through setup with the new Dunlop tires.
That feeling, though, that washy feeling, was that right from the first lap?
No, not really.
Later on?
Later on, yeah.
Okay, because the pressure went up from when you went out.
Okay.
So we're at 2.71 now. So why don't I take it back down 1.1 PSI,
okay.
And you can try it again, because that's where you went out at.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the temperature also went up back to where we like to see it.
Okay.
All right? Cool. Just give that a shot.
Yeah.
Mike, whatever it's got in the front on our gauge, I want it 0.1 less.
Front tire still looks good. You notice anything?
No. Like on the lefts, it wasn't worse, I wouldn't say.
Okay, yeah, but
I did. I had like.
I figured here, at least going down the hill and coming back up, you would maybe know something.
It didn't feel bad like coming out of Charlotte's Web.
What's that?
It didn't feel too bad like coming out of Charlotte's Web. Dude, look at that tire.
Yeah.
I couldn't even like lean.
Really?
Thing's kind of.
That right side's getting pretty torn up.
Okay. Rear sprocket, 45.
You're gonna flip it around, we're on both sides.
Yeah, no. Can we turn it around?
Can we turn around? No, can we run both ways? Huh?
Can we turn it around?
We're on both sides? I can flip it if you want.
You wanna try it? You wanna try it? You flop it.
Huh?
Turn it around.
Yeah, why not? You might not gain that much out of flipping it, to be honest.
Really?
I planned not to put a tire in, but I didn't think the tire was going to go off that bad.
So basically what's been happening here and what happens at a lot of tracks is you'll get an immediate cold tear on the tire. You'll get this really heavy feathering down the side of the tire. And once it starts to do that, the tire just kind of keeps shredding apart. And you'll go from, a tire that would go 30 laps will last 6 or 7 laps. It radically changes it. So as the track gets hotter, you don't have that immediate cold tearing on the tire, and the tire just lasts significantly longer. The softer the compound is, the more critical the track temperature is. So for the softest compound tire, it's typically between 30 and 35 degrees Celsius track temp. So it does vary slightly depending on the track surface and the type of aggregate that they build the asphalt out of. But it's generally in that 30 to 35 degrees Celsius window for the track temp, and then you can generally start looking at the softest compound tire.
Because the track temp's pretty cold. Yeah.
It's okay for like going to the beach if the atmosphere is 25.
It feels like there's sand out there anyway, right?
Can you make the air 25? We'd all be hanging out on the beach. That's pretty cold for asphalt.
Josh Herron ends the first practice with the second fastest time behind Gagne. Matthew Skolds missed important track time early and is P8 with Tony Elias P9. On Friday afternoon, the humid and cloudy weather felt like rain was on the way, but it held off for the afternoon session.
I had a good race here last year, so I was excited to come to Barber this weekend, a track I really like. We had our best result last year, being behind Jake and Cam, for instance. It was like 7 seconds, so that was our best result of being closer to the front. So it's I feel like the bike is pretty good here.
All right, if you're ready, let's rock and roll. Let's go do this.
Watching Jake Gagne, and I'll tell you, man, he just gets up on that throttle, and that bike dances and moves, and he just flies. And he's just putting in absolute flyer laps right now.
Sometimes going backwards in setup moves you forward.
Let's back out the rebound, go back out. Well, how many clicks do we got to come out on a rebound to get back to that R3?
Probably about 3.
3, go 4. Tell him.
So just put this morning's map back in the bike. We'll do a rear tire and probably trend it. What do you think of the settings on the bike chassis-wise? Yeah, it seems all right. Seems okay, like it handles okay, it's turning well, the back of the bike feels like no big issues. Because like I said, I made some small changes just to try to help longevity.
Yeah, it seems all right.
Okay, staying with that link on the back, no other changes, we're putting a tire on, we're gonna write to it, we're probably gonna send him.
Going forward, you know?
Yep, yeah, he's gonna put our map from this morning back in the bike. So yeah, changing rear tire, 18 PSI.
Do you want to put the swing arm in?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay.
Might as well just try it.
Yeah, swing arm in. Same tire.
We wanted to kind of turn Friday into a testing day, even though you don't want to be making big changes like that on a race weekend. You want to be working on your race setup and kind of just wanted to take one step back to go a step forward if we could.
The Tyler Cycle crew make a significant change for Bobier mid-session.
You know, we used to have an hour for our qualifiers. Now we have 40 minutes. I turned over there and I look at Seb, and he got the swing arm out of the 6 bike, and his buddy's like shoving another one in. I'm going, that's pretty impressive.
So we're trying a different swing arm now. I'm not changing anything. Well, changing the swing arm. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, Gagne wasn't going faster the longer he rode. You know what I mean? Like, you were still able to make a faster lap after putting 6 laps on the tire, and he was not. There's a little delay. We didn't have this swing arm set up for the other change to gearing.
But how'd that rear tire look?
A lot better than the last one. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit tore, but nothing like the last one. Maybe the new swing arm's magic and it'll clean up. You gotta have dreams, you know?
I shouldn't be giving those guys any kudos, but Sebi, nice job. That was impressive. They slid it in and out of there like a mayonnaise sandwich, so that's pretty cool. So I had to snap a couple of pictures of it. Hopefully we won't have to do that.
Thus far, it's Bobier with the fastest trap speed of about 160 miles an hour here. No long straights like we had at Road Atlanta. So that's pretty impressive, I think.
We didn't even touch the soft rear tire. We threw in the R5 at the beginning of the session, came in, and then threw another R5 in at the end of the session just to get a good back-to-back comparison on the new swing arm compared to the old one. It felt pretty good. You know, it wasn't a massive step, but I felt like it was a little bit better on the side of the tire and the drive. There's been a handful of times this year where I'm just as fast on the hard tire as the soft tire, and that's never the case.
Cam P just went out there, did a 23.5. I'm sure he had to put a soft on to have done that. So put a new R5 on the back, and we're going to go out and try that.
In the second half of the session, it looks as though Cam Peterson's fastest lap would keep him as the provisional pole setter.
Cameron Peterson just loves this track. Has been very open about that, and even Jake Gagne told me last year, he said, this is the track where I worry about Cameron the most. He just is really fast here.
Anything else you would like to give a try to, chassis-wise?
So even lowering the front end helps over that rise. Definitely going in the right direction, it feels like. You know, everything we've done, the bike's done better.
Been better,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to do now? We could throw the new front and the used rear. You could go do a run to get used to that again.
Let's do that, and then just see how that thing feels. Even though it's all torn up a little bit, just see how it feels.
Yeah,
compared to that
because
thing.
the track temps come up, might actually help it, because that looked pretty good. I mean, when you look at it, it looks okay. Can you get me give me the tire and the black warmer and the new front, please? Just switch both.
Okay.
Okay.
So do another run. We'll see what the time is, but we'll probably put the tyre in after this one, okay? Yeah. Right.
After missing time in the morning session, Scholz and Westby make quick progress as they jump to the top of the timesheet for a brief moment.
Oh, Matthew just put in the fastest fourth sector of all. Gagne now as the fastest third and first sector. So these two guys have got a good duel going right at the sharp end. Gagne a personal best in the fourth. So this could be an amazing lap for Gagne. Should be a pretty good lap for Scholz here. Yeah, 123.1 for Scholz, but here comes Jake. 122.
First rider into the 22s.
What a lap.
It had you on screen for that lap. I mean, it looked decent. It looked pretty calm and collected. Jake's bike's pretty wild and free, but it's fast.
Yeah.
Ours looks kind of pretty calm. I don't know what you feel.
Yeah, I think we can definitely, when it's an upright, make it go a little more.
Okay.
Definitely picked up there, ended up second quickest overall, so it was a pretty good end to Friday.
Yeah, it started rough, but then you ended pretty strong.
Yeah, tends to be the norm.
At the end of Q1, Gagne is on provisional pole with the only time under 1 minute and 23 seconds. The next 5 riders were under 1 minute 24, followed by Escalante in P7. His M4 teammate Tony Elias is surprisingly in P14.
In my career, maybe today is the podium of the worst moments, no? And I'm not happy, and obviously I'm a little bit sad because the situation is not what I want. But always been a rider who never give up, keep fighting, and I hopefully tomorrow will be better.
Race 1 is on the horizon, and track temperatures have cooled down overnight.
This morning we didn't know if we was going to have wet or dry, and right now it looks like it's going to be dry. So, the sun's not really out right now either, so I expect, track conditions to almost be perfect. Right now it's looking dry, and we're going to see, what these Superbike guys can do. And yesterday they were really close in all lap times, so it's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do this morning and who can move up on the grid.
Early in Q2, Gagne is fastest, up 0.8 of a second over his teammate.
You got time now.
Yeah.
You got tons of time. If you're going to get on pole, you need about a half second. Is that possible? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Jason's doing a long run to see what the tire's like. 12 laps so far. 25.0. So that's going to be what the race is going to be like at the end.
Yeah.
But I think he's going through traffic too.
That was good.
Yeah, I mean, I could have definitely gotten the 23.
Yeah. What were you looking down at?
No, I tried to shift one lap and it wouldn't shift. It's just...
Okay, all right. Pretty happy?
Yeah.
Okay, I
think I can go quicker. Definitely.
Okay. Do you want to try this other setting?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so plug that in, please. Okay, and I'm going to just do the chassis change. But yeah, I thought that was really strong, honestly.
All right, we're just going to do this tire and get right back out.
We feel like we're very competitive with the lap times that we have right now. I think we have a very good chance this afternoon for challenging for a podium. PJ is always really strong at the end of the race, and it seems like our BMW works really well late in the race. So that'll help us a bit. So we're trying to go through data right now and find the best parts of that and apply them to the race this afternoon.
We're going to put an R3 on and go right back out. Any other thoughts on the rest of it? What'd you think of the electronics and stuff? I just kept it on the driveway. But it felt okay is what I meant, yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you want to just put this in. I don't want to get ahead of it, but he said it's still spinning too much coming out of the museum the whole way.
Let's try this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's just try this as it is, okay? But bear in mind, it's going to be a bit freer later. It's different, so just take a lap.
All good with the electronics?
Yeah. The rear end was just coming around a lot, but I think it was because of the tire.
Richie Escalante is sitting P3 and has a shot to get his first front row start. He's getting faster, but needs to find even more time as teams start to put on the Q tire.
The gear change still good? Okay, good.
He's just settling into the Superbike a little bit more and getting confidence with the bike and himself. And we've made some setup changes and some electrical changes as well that he's liked and adapted to. And it showed yesterday in qualifying. What we're saying, we understand each other, you know. It could be wrong what you're saying, but as long as he understands what you're saying and I understand what he's saying, that's one of the most important things, you know.
That's 3 23s in a row he's just put down.
Throw the Q in it.
Yeah.
Hard to manage it at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to be easy. It's almost like those last 5 laps, you can't even really get down to full lean angle. Like, just real easy, because it's just like always washing around. But again, I mean, I don't know how much better the R5 is going to be, you know?
Right. So you've got a bit of time on the out lap, but just make sure you get yourself a gap, okay? Well done. Thanks, guys.
Here and the Bobby are both waiting for him. You guys should do a head fake to pull out and push back in.
Oh, are they?
No, I see you should probably do a head fake.
Yeah, I see that. Maybe that's an idea.
Push out, whoa, and push back in.
They're both waiting for you. You want to do a head fake? We'll
You
push
guys
it.
taking warmers off, so.
Yeah, but we can push it out. Oh, wait a sec. Push it back. Or you just want to go?
He's going.
He's going. You go. Have fun, huh?
Herron got caught up into that turn 8 complex behind Cameron Peterson, who was on an off lap, but it was just unfortunate as there's nowhere for Cam to go. And I think that may have held up Josh Herron, but he's on personal best all the way around here, and he just turned to 23.690.
I feel like from the start of the weekend, like, I've been happy with my pace because we're within a second basically the whole weekend. Where Atlanta, we were probably closer to 2 seconds off. Tire-wise, you know, our bike's just not working on the tires this weekend here. A lot of people were having the issues, but it seemed like we had them really bad. We hadn't done more than 8 laps on a set of tires, and, you know. So I was hoping that the warmer track temps that we got were going to help us. That's, I think, that's what the whole team was kind of thinking, but it didn't seem to do anything for us.
Josh Herron puts in his best time with a Q tire, but shortly after, PJ Jacobson goes faster.
Yesterday we were already kind of scared of what was going to happen with the soft tire when we chose that, and it shredded, but it was still okay. Qualifying was pretty decent for me. I think I ended up like P6 on the grid, so we were on the first 2 rows. Yeah, it was pretty decent, I guess.
Man, let's hope he keeps us up. Might be front row. We get a shot at front row. Oh! So good.
Went out in that Q tire, and you know, he hasn't been an outstanding guy with a Q tire. You know, it's hard. Some guys can master that one lap, you know, and really drop, you know, nearly a second sometimes, you know. And Richie got 6/10 out of that tire from Dunlop, you know, and that was really good. And to just be off front row by, I think it was like right on about a 10th, you know, and that's the closest we've been.
Gagne looking to improve. He's didn't have a great first sector, fastest second sector of all, personal best in 3rd and 4th, and there he is, 122.68. So that's a 2/10 gain over what he had.
Scholz ends up getting slowed by another rider after putting in the fastest overall time for Sector 1.
Put the Q on with 2-3 minutes to go, and I think I was quickest in the first sector, got a green in the second one, then Unfortunately, I think guys were just, kind of sitting in the racing line, kind of got bogged a little bit. It sucks, but those things happen. I was still happy to qualify third on the front row with a race tire.
I thought you made a mistake.
That definitely made me feel good there.
So I rolled off to try to save the tire and get one more lap.
Yeah, no,
and then the checkered flag came out.
We were on for pole. The guy did a 47-second sector in a 15-second sector. So, I don't know what they're doing out there. It changed the front row for both races. You've got to take those things as some you win, some you lose, but at the same time it's frustrating. If they're not in the top 10, well, they're doing sectors 10 seconds off, take them off the track, because it's affecting our weekend. All right, well, I know it's disappointing, but it was solid. Still front row, so front row without a queue.
The grid ends up with 3 Yamahas on the front row. Escalante with his best grid position in P4, ahead of Beaubier, Jacobsen, and Herron. Tony Elias ends up P10.
Finally make a good step in the right direction. I finished 4 with only 0.5 with the pole, so that's something good. Couple laps in 23s. I'm super happy with the bike right now and to finally jump a little bit more. It's close to the first round, but second round always is good, so yeah, very happy.
Reminder all Superbike teams and competitors, this race will be a 16-lap race, 16 laps.
The track has been a lot cooler and it's been causing some cold tearing in the tires. So this race itself was scheduled for 20 and now it's scheduled for 16 as Dunlop will evaluate this race and the tire conditions after race number 1 here from the Medallia class. Going to lead us into turn number 1, and he's right there. Look at Herron going around the outside into third spot.
What a start from the third row from the Ducati of Josh Herron. I had a good chat with him not long ago, Greg, so we'll get into that in a little while. But Herron rockets himself from the third row to third as they go up over the top of turn 4 for the first lap. He's got Escalante and Skoltz right behind him.
The start was great. I was able to get from 7th to 3rd, but then as soon as we came out of turn 4, Cam and Gagne were gone. It was like next level gone too. Like they were disappearing fast.
I got off to a great start and kind of tried to go up the inside of Jake going into 1, but just didn't want to do anything stupid, because I knew we kind of had the pace to maybe get away from some of the other guys.
On lap 3, Skoltz overtakes Herron.
Nice move by Matthew Skoltz to take over third spot from Herron, and there's Beaubier on the number 6. Tytler's racing right behind him.
Matty got in front of Herron, and I made a little mistake trying to line Herron up going into the last corner, and I had a pretty good bobble right there.
In this position, you see Beaubier up out of the seat. There's Escalante, and give a shout out also PJ Jacobsen right on the back of these guys, also on another Tytler's BMW. So PJ Jacobsen, who we have seen finish 3rd here last year, he passed Petrucci in the last corner last year to nab that final podium spot, and he has found himself in that battle for 3rd again.
Race 1 was going kind of okay, and I could see Cam not too far away, but he chose a different tire compound than us. We ended up I think 12 seconds off the leader at the end of the race.
At the halfway point, PJ Jacobsen finds himself in the battle for 5th with Herron and Escalante.
Poor Herron has to check up on that one as PJ really put the anchor out to slow down the 99.
While Beaubier has begun to pull away from the group as he tries to reel in Skoltz.
looking around at the trees, just kind of, you know, out there by myself. Yeah, a little bit boring. Yeah. I mean, at least I never had Cam on the BM breathing down my neck. That would have sucked.
Here we go. Left part of your screen. Checker flag awaits. Jake Gagne takes another victory. His 33rd in the Medallia Superbike career.
Herrin manages to hold off Escalante for 6th.
And to the line they come, and what racecraft by Josh Herrin to take 6th place.
Gagne wins his 2nd race of the season, with Peterson and Scholz in 2nd and 3rd for a Yamaha podium sweep. Beaubier falls short of the podium, and teammate PJ Jacobsen takes 5th.
Make some noise for Jake Gagne from Cam Peterson and Matthew Scott.
Right, ready? 1, 2, 3, got it. Awesome. Yeah, you're awesome.
No worries, guys. Thank you for the support. Really.
Pulling up to the grid today, right before the race, I couldn't get into neutral. At that point, there was nothing we could do. I think it was just a little cable that broke or something.
The cable's come undone, and I don't think there's any way I can fix it right now.
Long story short, there was no neutral for the rest of the race for me.
Can you manage?
We got to wait a little bit longer, fire up the bike just before it's time.
Wait and try and do it late, be the last one. Okay?
I wanted to make sure I spent the least amount of time sitting there with the clutch in.
Another challenge that we shall overcome. Right?
Managed to still get the launch control button on, but holding in the clutch. I'm gonna probably have to give the clutch a little bit of play because it's just gonna get hot sitting there on the grid with the clutch in, not being able to put it in neutral. So yeah, kind of just a little bit of stress.
Jake's resilience and his ability to improvise and do something with what he's given is pretty unparalleled, I think.
So same as this morning, but you go to 1, it was yesterday. Normal. In 3, go to 1 for later if you need.
Got one too many people.
Yeah, Uli's he's about to go.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. No problem.
Okay, thanks.
No, I think you're okay. I'm okay. You're always welcome on my grid.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're a Raldo Faraci, man.
Yeah, man.
Josh, you know the drill? Right? I'm mic'd up too, but I'll say it. They won't put it on TV, but that's okay.
With a warmer track temperature, race 2 is restored to a 20-lap race.
So here we go, Medallia Superbike race number 2. We're away racing. Ooh, your pole sitter launched the front wheel in the air just a little bit. Is his teammate going to lead into it? No. Like he said yesterday, he knows Cam Peterson is there, and the number 1 plate of Gagne wants to lead the way.
Man, and Josh Herrin got the same start. Him and Beaubier got awful close together as they ran up to turn 2. Beaubier is going to get that position. Escalante also with an incredible start on the Suzuki, Greg, as they roll down into turn 5 on the opening lap.
Down into Charlotte's Web they go for the first time, and it's a trio of Yamahas and a move being made. Oh, and down goes Cameron Peterson.
Yeah, like 4-5 down turn 6, rider up.
The beginning of the race is kind of where it all ended. I really was determined to go with Jake, and you know, if you're going to beat that guy, it's obviously those first couple laps that he gets out to that gap, and he's just incredible those first few laps. I picked the bike up pretty quick. I thought it was going to be okay, and unfortunately the shifter had broken off, so I had to come into the pits.
Shifter. You have the bar for the shifter? Here it is, right here.
Disappointment for Cameron Peterson after such a great race yesterday, and it looks like Beaubier is going to make a move on Herrin. So there goes the Tytler's Cycles BMW rider.
the guys worked on the bike, got me back out there, and just to go see if I could salvage at least 1 point.
Just up ahead, but several laps down, is Cameron Peterson on that fresh and lean progressive Yamaha.
Scholz and Beaubier battle for second. Escalante is running in fourth by himself, while Heron and Jacobsen fight for fifth a few seconds back.
Oh!
All stations, repo, 4-5, bike 4-5, repo 4-5.
Yeah, something else on the bike kind of started to go away, and there was oil all over my boot and stuff. So they gave me the flag to pull off the track, and missed getting a point by 1 lap, I think.
Here comes the number 1 plate onto the front straightaway. As the checkered flag waits, it's Jake Gagne who wins 2 in a row, and here comes the 2. Oh, they nearly collide.
Wow, that was close.
Going to the line, it looks like that Cameron Beaubier had a great drive and had to back out of it.
I tried to square it up and drag him to the finish line because obviously the BMWs, we got some power. I don't think he realized I was as close as he was, and he gave me a little swerve.
Kind of pulled to the left side of the track, holding the line, trying to keep him back. And I didn't know that he was that close to me. So I think that we almost touched. Sorry for that, but I think that you are allowed to move over once. So it's definitely not something that you want to do, but I'm just pretty happy I was able to hang on to second.
Gagne wins his 3rd race of the season, and Scholz holds on to second. Escalante secures a career-best finish of 4th, and Jacobsen holds off Heron for 5th.
They want you to go to the winner's circle. Good job, man. Hey, get off, we remove the bike.
In the end, I'm super happy for my race pace, and yeah, now it's time to keep working and ready for Road America.
Jake Gagne leaves Alabama with a solid lead in the standings with 95 out of 100 available points.
Looking forward to Road America because that's going to be one of those tracks that's going to be tough to win. I think there's going to be a lot more guys in the hunt for the win. I think it's going to be hard for anybody to get away, so I'm hoping we'll see a race-long battle there.
Yes, the bike is getting better, and I'm getting more comfortable on the bike, but I really think this thing can grow into something cool, and we just got to take advantage of some of the tracks that really are going to suit this BMW. I wouldn't say Barber's quite the track, but like I said, it was a really good test for us this weekend, and to really see where we're at.
I'm up on the podium with Jake Gagne and Cameron Beaubier. They've been the 2 previous Superbike champions, so I feel like me and the Westby boys are doing something right.
Cameron Beaubier is now 21 points back from Gagne. Matthew Scholz is in 3rd with 63 points, followed by Josh Heron with 49. Richie Escalante rounds out the top 5 with 43, while Cam Peterson and Corey Alexander are tied for 6th with 33 points. PJ Jacobsen is only 1 point back from them in 8th.
We know going into Road America we'll have a strong bike again because I feel like my pace is pretty good. I just need to be able to maintain it. I don't get tired. I just need the bike to stay there with me. So
Road America is an awesome track. The place just got repaved. We had a test there. There's no bumps. It's really, really smooth. So I think it should be a pretty good race. Probably like the Road Atlanta race that everybody was in, except for me.
We were pretty excited coming into this event, expecting to be, challenging right at the front. And then racing always happens. Things get crazy. The track changes, different tires this year. So some of those expectations change because we kind of felt like we were starting over a little bit more with the bike than we expected. I think everybody had the same tire wear issues.
So I fly home early morning and the truck will be there probably before I get there. I have stuff that I'm working on. We're testing at Brainerd after Road America, so I'm really working on beyond that.
Matthew Scholz is here. That's what the story is I want it to be this year. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. But if we can't come here and believe that we have a chance to win and win the championship, then we shouldn't be here. If it's wet, let it be wet. If it's dry, let it be dry. If it's mixed conditions, let it be mixed conditions. We can do it all, and I believe the top 6 or 7 guys can do it all. I think we're all in for a real treat this weekend, I'll tell you that.
It's kind of like classic circuits make for classic races, right? And Road America is one of those circuits where It's pretty difficult to have a breakaway. The question is whether or not everybody can put their egos aside enough so that they can get it around the corner fast enough to not lose the dude that's out front.
Gagne and his Yamaha shined at Barber, but Road America offers 3 long straightaways that play into the hands of the Ducati and BMW with their top speed advantage.
I'll bounce back, I'll be fine, but I can only imagine Road America with no bumps, no cracks is going to be unreal, so looking forward to it.
Make some noise for Jake Gagne!